If anybody wants to buy a track racing FRS, let me know. Hello and welcome back to Speed Freak Garage, home of power sports on YouTube. So I want to warn you that today we're going to try a little experiment that's probably destined for failure. I'm going to try to run an air chisel with this little tiny air tank. It's probably not going to work, but we have two studs that are preventing us from installing our new clutch master, and the studs have to come out. So we have to use an air chisel because they're spot welded in place, and an air chisel does a really good job at breaking spot welds. So, get this close to our workspace, and pull a high amperage extension cord over. Okay, and I apologize for this noise ahead of time, but I gotta get it filled up. So now we got this air chisel with some extra ends. This was only like 15 bucks, and it's 5 cubic feet a minute at 90 PSI, which means it's only gonna run a couple seconds with this air tank. But I'm hoping that's enough to go ahead and break those. So we'll probably be using probably this one. I'm hoping this one, because the chisel, I really need a sharper chisel than this, but this might work, I hope. So, okay, I think that's right. Yep, okay, yep, okay. Now, which nipple do I need? Not that. This in somewhere, whatever. Okay. Oh yeah. Supposed to use Teflon pipe tape. I don't know if I have any. I have, no, I have liquid thread sealant, which for some reason has been kind of milky lately. I'm thinking I'm gonna have to go buy new thread sealant. Mix it up really good. I'm gonna turn this off so it doesn't fucking take my ears out in the middle of working. All right. Doesn't help all these hoses are shit and they leak. So, use some thread sealant. Okay, good. Mixing it up seems to have fixed the issue. All right, and I used a lot because air tools are pretty well known for leaking like all the time. Okay, and then I need a wrench. You don't want to over tighten it. Nope. Try 15. Nope. 14. 14's close enough. Okay. All right. And then that pipe thread, the liquid thread, dries from the pressure and from the air. So it will be all right to go ahead and start using right away. So now the next question is this chisel sharp enough, or do I need to like grind it down to sharpen it? Because what we're trying to do is chisel out. That might actually work pretty well. Chisel out these studs. And I'm assuming I'm supposed to use ear protection with this thing. I'll find out pretty quick. So, perfect. Just leave this here. I don't have ear protection though. Alright. Okay. Please work. Woo! Fucking, what the fuck is leaking? It's the fitting. Fuck. It's working, but I think I'm out of air already, especially because this garbage fitting is leaking. 40 psi. Yeah, I need like a much larger compressor. Great. Great. Okay, I'm gonna pause the video while this fills up. Okay, so we're back to 100 psi. God damn it. Fuck. Fuck this stupid thing. And now we're back down to 80. Okay, fuck. Let's try again. Fuck. That is some hard fucking steel. I mean, holy shit. How the fuck am I gonna get that shit out? Wonder if I have to try a different strategy. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna have to fill this back up. One of the things the kit comes with is this bolt cutting blade. So however the hell it's supposed to work, you know, they claim it cuts the end of the bolt off. So if I can cut that stud off, I might be able to get a punch. I don't know if that would help or not. Or if I could use this to try and cut, I don't know. I mean, I don't really see a way. And it's like damaging this wedge. So, not really sure what to do aside from getting a better, oh wow. Aside from getting a better compressor, have to borrow one or something. So I think a big issue with this is that this compressor only goes up to 100, whereas we really need more pressure for a longer duration. And it's just not, it's not holding the 90 PSI we need for long enough. I mean, it's cutting, and it's cutting the way I want it to, but it's cutting very, very slowly. And I think we probably would be wise to sharpen up this chisel. So I'll probably have to, once again, wait for help from someone because it's not, I don't have the right tools. Like, I could have had that specific part of the job done by now if I had the right fucking tools, but I don't. I mean, I have a lot of tools. It's amazing how many tools you need in order to have the right tools. I mean, fuck. Years and years and years of collecting tools that you may be only using once a year or even less, but you need them. I mean, it's not, I don't know. I'm not buying an air compressor. That ain't gonna happen. What the fuck? The hell, come on. Not really sure when or if I'll ever buy an air compressor. I mean, if there was like an electric chisel, that would be awesome. Don't know if those exist, or if they do, are they affordable? Ah, shit. I forgot I need to put these back on the FRS. So I was showing the FRS to a potential buyer yesterday. I'd like to get the car sold. Let's see, we can't do the axles without the axle nuts, which are like 300 something foot-pounds. So how we're gonna do that is, still don't know. Can't do the fuel system without finding a solution for the fuel pressure sensor issue. Oh, excuse me, which I'm hoping I can get like a universal 1/8 NPT pressure sensor. That would make sense, right? Let's see. So I mean, the stuff I need to work on to get the engine fired up and to test it, I'm waiting. I'm waiting on a solution to the pressure sensor problem, which Fast is not being helpful at all. and their forum is broken, so I can't even register for their forum because it's like sending confirmation email. An hour later, no email. So you click resend. An hour later, no email. And so I waited all night, still no confirmation email. Very frustrating. So Fast is being completely unhelpful with the problem. Waiting on axle nuts. Then after the axle nuts, then I will probably, I don't know if I need to purchase new triple squares for the axles yet. You know, supposedly they included everything I needed with them, but we won't find that out until we get that cloth off and try and get them installed. The cooling system, I don't want to fill the cooling system yet because there's still, you know, like, for example, the oil cooler, I might have to move this line, like make it longer to get it out of my way, because the oil cooler will probably sit right here. Okay, so then you don't really want this line, you know, I might have to actually put this line down and under and come up so it's out of my way, because most likely the oil cooling temperature control block, I'll have to poke 2 holes in the frame here somehow and mount the oil cooling temperature control to the frame. I mean, I could maybe mount it over here so it'll be out of the way of these lines. That might be a little simpler. So I'd bring these lines around, and hopefully they'll be bendable enough. I can bring them up here and then put something around them to protect them from this metal, and they would connect directly to this oil cooling block, which would then come up and connect to the oil cooler, which will be like here. I forgot to bring it out with me. And then hopefully there'll be enough room for an intake pipe. If not, I could try and cut this out and bring the intake this way. I don't know if this stuff will be in the way. I'm gonna have to cut this out no matter what, so maybe go straight down through the front and find a way to protect it from water pressure, which would probably be pretty difficult. So that's our last resort, is to go down through the front here, especially because I'm pretty sure taking this apart is extremely difficult. And whether or not it goes back together, don't know. The headlights, I don't want to do the headlights until I'm done with all the major mechanical stuff, because the chance of scratching them or fucking them up, they also need to be rewired to be compatible with the MetroPack system I'm using. So what they did is they made them plug and play for the OEM Porsche, which is great. I mean, that's the way to do it, but the problem is that's completely useless for me. So these are the running lights and these are the high beams. So I need to separate these out so that they're compatible with the weather packs to have their own separate ground. Then there's daytime running lights down here, but the connector that they used isn't a universal connector. It's a connector for Porsche. So I probably will not be able to use the daytime running lights at all, which is kind of annoying, but I mean, I don't have a way to connect to that. And I don't even want to try to connect to it. I think it'd be better to just leave it alone. I mean, maybe I could try and find a bulb that has a universal connector, but I mean, daytime running lights, I'm going to have the, don't even know if I'm going to use the fog lights, but, ooh, there's something I can do today. But the side markers, so the turn signals, right, I believe are switchbacks. I'm not so sure on, they're 3-wire, which tells me that they are, I don't even think I got bulbs for those yet, which tells me that they're switchbacks, which means that I can actually have them double as marker lights. So if I have the marker lights on, then the daytime running lights, not so big of a deal. Okay, but if you guys remember, I broke the shit out of these in order to get them off the car, which, as we found out, was not a good idea because they're super important for installing the windshield. because of the way the windshield works. And so here's the clips. So apparently there's a clip under here. There it is right there. Like, it's like this. And I mean, I didn't know because none of this was taken apart when I took the windshield out. So what you got to do is hope to God that it's not completely frozen up, and you can pull this nasty old clip out, and then you can pull this out, and they'll have to go in the trash. These are newer clips that have been, looks like shot blasted to kind of clean the rust off of them and make them look brand new, which they're not. I'm not dumb enough to believe that. But one of the things I want to do is I want to try and scrape all this extra rubber off because it'll cause the windshield not to sit correctly. And then over here, same thing. Just, okay, this one's not cooperating. Wow. Come on, cooperate. There we go. Some rusty shit. All right, and again, this is trash since I fucked it up and broke it. Now I have a scraper. It's not very sharp. I wish I had my machine tools mounted. I have too much shit on the workbench. Because if I had this damn belt sander mounted to the workbench, which is my plan is to use the motor bolts to mount it so it doesn't, move, I could sharpen this up real sharp. But that'll have to wait. So there's this groove, and the groove is what holds the windshield on. The problem is this shit is actually really high quality sealant. Very surprising. So, and getting it to come off has been a nightmare. Obviously, it's designed to last a long, long time. And luckily, the windshield for this car is only like $150 if it doesn't have an antenna in it. I don't know why anybody would want to buy a windshield with an antenna in it when you can get an aftermarket radio, and use a freaking cell phone to connect to it. You don't need a radio antenna anymore. I mean, and really, ideally, I would have whoever's installing the window, I would have them come through and clean it up themselves. I'd be like, hey, look, I need you to make sure this is right, so you're going to have to come and clean. And you can see where we kind of cleaned it up already, but, they probably have the right tools, too. I'm sure they have the tools they need to work with this properly. Whereas I'm using a putty knife, which probably isn't the best, tool. But again, I want the windshield to lay correctly. I want it to be strongly mounted. Yeah, like all this shit, see, is just... Shit. Come on. Okay, cutting towards yourself, not a good idea. At least kind of scrape it away from where I'm trying to work on the mounting blocks. The reason why I'm not using a razor blade is I don't want to fuck up this aluminum. I'm pretty sure it's an aluminum window strip. And, my guess is this window strip is supposed to be replaceable. It's like... It appears replaceable. No, wait. I lied. Is it welded on? Oh, no, maybe not. Could be just tacked, spot welded on. But the other thing is we don't know if we're going to be able to get the windshield wipers functioning properly, because we're hoping it's just like a power and ground and then it works. But the problem is there could be a circuit board in here where you have to have power, ground, and then you have to make some kind of magical 1, 2, 3, 4 connection to choose the different speeds. So we would probably just try and see if we can get at least 2 speeds working, like a low speed and then a balls to the wall as fast as we can go speed. See, it would be nice if this shit just peeled off like this, because there's like a little track in here where you put the sealant and it like uses the track to kind of seal itself. So I have a feeling that the poor guy that has to come out from I'll probably use Safelite and do this, because we have to do the windshield before we can take the car to the exhaust place, because if it sits outside and it starts raining, it could ruin all this work. And then let's see, there's one other thing I noticed that I could do. So I think I got enough of that off that I probably be safe to go ahead and put these things in. So they go like this, of course, and then you can adjust the windshield to make sure it fits up top properly. And then these just hold the windshield until it sets. And then once it sets, these should technically not be necessary, although they do seem to have leftover silicone on them, or sealant, or whatever you want to call it. Ooh. Make sure these work. It's too late to return them now, especially because they're, you know, eBay. I fucking hate eBay because half the time you get cheated. But this one actually works really nice. It clicks and everything. So we want to set it to, only turns one way. Want to set it to, you know, the lowest to keep the windshield away from the top of the car. And then this one's still, shit. Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, there goes all that effort. Might be better to put it on the car first. Does this one work? It appears to work. I thought I vacuumed all that shit. Okay, so put it in, right? And then you get both holes lined up, and then you gotta pull it. Okay, the problem is going to be pulling it. I don't know how they did this in the factory, because I can tell it's not anywhere close to being fully locked. Almost looks like it's kind of beat up. Yeah, I don't know how you're supposed to do that. Maybe with like a, where'd that punch go? And then the rubber mallet probably won't fit. I'll have to very carefully use, actually I don't even want to use the punch. I'm gonna do it a different way. We're gonna work better. So put the wrench right here. Okay. And then we're gonna we'll use the rubber mallet. So basically what I'm doing is I'm giving myself some leverage. Doesn't seem like it wants to go. Got it. So it feels like it's fully locked. I would call that locked and not going anywhere. So now we can test this again and make sure it works. Oh yeah. So right there is like a service position, so we don't want to do that. We'll go one click forward from the service position or whatever. So you can see this also holds the glass away from this metal bead, because if this sharp metal bead is literally touching the glass, it's going to break it, because glass does not like sharp objects. Now the hard part's probably going to be over here where we have much less room to work with. Why this is here? This is for the seats. Just leave it on the seat. Okay, so, and if anything, it'd probably be smart to do it this way. Guess it probably doesn't matter. Or does it? There's quite a bit of shit in the way. Actually, I would feel way more comfortable with it the other way. Okay, and then I want to set it, get it, make sure that it's, yeah, see, this might be tough. So now it's set. So the fuck. Nope. This is gonna suck. There's not enough room. There's a structure underneath my hand where the windshield wiper mounts go. So there's much less room to work with. And it's being a bitch. Tell if it's okay. There it goes. Okay, that one actually almost went all the way by hand. Oh, that one did go by hand. It's actually a little, I don't think that's gonna go anywhere. Okay, that one went by hand. That was interesting. Now we want to get it down to one click. So just so it kind of stays in place. All right. Whew. I want to double check this one. Okay. All right. Let's see. What else little piddly shit has to be done that can be done without worrying about the state of the rest of the vehicle. Technically the wiring for the taillights, but fuck, I don't wanna, where's the, I don't really wanna do that right now. I don't know, I really need to get the transaxle in to know what's going on. I could change the brake pads, I guess. They're kind of a shit show, the way cause they had to like replace the mechanism that holds them in because, well, the OEM version is pretty garbage. Surprise, surprise. So, I can at least try one of the brake pads. I mean, it would be nice to get them replaced so I don't forget. It almost looked like a 10. I'm gonna have to get more of these bolts too, to replace to fix the problems with the front, because the fronts, the way the fucktards design them is that they have these pins, and the pin is held by this clip, right? This clip here. So the problem is that the pins get too hot and they bend, and why they bend, I mean, is beyond me. So these pins have to be pulled out, hopefully without ruining the caliper. That should come right out. And when you pull them out, you have to replace them with a bolt of decent strength, which I'll probably have to order from McMaster. Just hope the calipers didn't get any dirt in them or anything when I was taking them apart. I need... I'll probably just work until the GoPro camera battery dies, so 2 hours max. See, that should come... Yeah, that should come right out. There should be nothing holding that in anymore. And this is the brake wear sensor. It's completely worthless. You could call it dead weight, even though it's so light it wouldn't matter, but... Or it could fall out on accident and then fuck up your caliper, so then it's a very expensive mistake. So my opinion is to get all this crap out, all this is trash. you can see how bad condition these pins are in. I mean, I guess you could argue that, yeah, it makes it easier to change the pads, but at the same time, they obviously used inferior metal. And really, I should probably reorder these in industrial strength, because these look like they came from fucking AutoZone or some shit. In fact, I don't even think they're metric, which makes me even more wanting to replace them. They're probably a 7/16, which is fucking stupid. You metric car, use metric unless it fit the hole better. We're gonna use safety mode so we don't break them, just in case. I guess they put that on there for see, the correct thing to do, I mean, you can't use a nylock because a nylock would have melted. So I'll have to try some other method. Okay, so I'm gonna need it, and that's actually kind of loose. So I'll have to take that inside and use it as my example for finding a replacement. It's kind of scary, actually. I'm glad I noticed that was just like some cheap AutoZone bolt. And they got grease on the threads of the bolt, which is not right. I mean, this should be greased, but they should have kept the grease as far away from these threads as possible. So it's concerning. And I'm hearing a ringing in my ears. I hope you guys aren't hearing that. Is it the GoPro? Something's ringing. I hope to God it's not the GoPro, because that would mean the death of the GoPro if it's making weird noises like that. So now theoretically you should be able to pull the brake pads out. Okay, so we're going to put them in a way that I know what is what, so when I replace them, come on, fuck you, give me the brake pad. Oh boy, doesn't want to let go of it. Cocksucker. Give me the brake pad. God. Is that the GoPro making that ringing noise? Give me the fucking brake pad. Fuck you. Man, it does not want to give it up. What the fuck is that about? God, I wish I could afford new brakes. Maybe next year I'll just get all new brakes. That brake pad should slide right out. There should be no reason why it's captured like this. Come on. Wait. No, wait, it's caught on something. Shit, there's something holding it in. Are you kidding me? Why the fuck Okay. Where are the new brake pads? So I ordered a set. Ordered a set of brake pads, but God, there's so much shit everywhere. Brake pads. And they're ceramic, so they won't work too good when they're cold, but once they heat up, they'll be bulletproof. Okay. Doesn't say front or rear. That's nice. This looks like the rears. Or are these the rears? I have no idea. These might be the fronts. It's really nice of them to say front or rear. It looks, wow, that brake pad is thick. Am I even going to be able to get it back on the car? I don't even know if that's the right. That's the right pad. Uh-oh. It looks very, very, very similar, but this feature in here, something's not right. It's like a, oh, look, it's like a retainer feature. See that? And it's on both sides, so I guess that means that it doesn't matter which way you put them. But the question is, how do I release the retainer then? Fuck. Quick change my ass. I'm assuming there's some simple instructions that I'm missing. Fuck, do I gotta look up a video to make a video? It's like some kind of spring clip, maybe? I don't want to like try and remove the spring clip and damage it. I might not have a choice. Wow, that's in there good. Well, shit. Okay. I mean, I can't finish the job anyway without the, who's texting me? Without the, these pins. So I'm also gonna check and see if they're the right length for the fronts, because the fronts are a little different. And they are, they'll work on the fronts. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need at least 8 of these. And then I need, I'll probably get a metric size, so slightly bigger. In worst case, if I just take a drill to these and kind of make them a little tougher. One thing I noticed, it looks like there's supposed to be some kind of spring. I don't know what that spring would even be for. Maybe just to keep them from rattling. But it looks like that they removed the spring from the rears, which my guess is they probably weren't supposed to. Okay, so this spring, there's a spring over here on this one with the pins, but with the bolts, they removed the spring. Why? Why would you remove that spring? It's obviously important for some reason. Wow, they even did some. Ooh, look at that cut on that. What the hell? Holy shit, it's got cut somehow. Look at that, there's like a... Oh man, I don't want to buy a new caliper. Fuck, what would have caused a massive slice into the caliper like that? Oh my god. I mean, this part really isn't, the strength of this part isn't really a big deal because it just holds, because it just holds the caliper in place. Alright, anyway, so I think I am stuck for today because I need to order more bolts. It's too bad these aren't the right size because they're the right length. Just not the right size. But yeah, these cheap ass bolts, somebody should have maybe tried a little harder and ordered some bolts that aren't garbage. So I need 8 of these and probably some backups because I doubt they're gonna last that long under heavy use. And then there was something else I wanted to bring inside. Oh yeah, I need to design a 3D printed polyurethane bushing for this. So, because the shaft on this is way too loose. So I need to 3D print polyurethane bushing. The problem is a 3D printer can only print so small. So I'm gonna do a single wall 3D print, extremely low layer resolution, so it's strong as possible. And hopefully it'll work. So yeah, I need this too. So I'm hearing voices. So set these items over here. I need to wash my hands with some Gojo. If anybody wants to buy a track racing FRS, let me know. Okay. I want to get a different video. So let's try like this. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.